Hey everybody, welcome back. In this video, it is the final culmination, compilation of everything Dark Dimension 3 that I've worked on and that I've also worked on with Yeti and Punk. So we've got a new infographic we're going to show on this, which is kind of a, call it Dark Dimension 3 who to watch out for, almost like a guide type thing. You know, we had our previous infographic, which I'll also show about what team you want to use, and we'll cover that a little bit. But there's specific videos for that team or for that infographic about the team. So go check out that video. I also am going to go through a spreadsheet which basically logged everything that I did in Dark Dimension. I'm not going to go through it tediously, but I'm going to share it in this video and show you guys how to get it, including how to get the new infographic for what to watch out for. And that's going to be the primary thing that we're going to go over in this infographic. So we're going to touch on these other things real quickly, and then we're going to go over the new infographic on what to watch out for. Because Dark Dimension 3, while you might have finished the first run, the second run can have some improvement on it. So we'll definitely want to look at that team guide based on first and second run, as well as look at the who to watch out for guide. So for anybody who maybe hasn't finished it, for anybody who might be a new player, that's what this video is for. So if you're already done, you can hang out and just say hey and see what's up, see if your thoughts are the same as mine or if they're different. You know, if you think the stuff that Yeti, Punk, and I all worked on as far as what to watch out for, if we got it way wrong, let us know. Come over to the Discord, chat, etc. And we'll kind of go from there. So anyway, let's get to it.
Bring me WolverThor!
Okay, so first again, you guys have probably seen this. We have a Dark Dimension 3, basically who to use. First run, we've got at the top here, and then it goes down to the timed run at the bottom. And we've got, you know, the global cosmic city. At the top part, we talk about no restrictions. The second run, it's so much, you've got so many tunes, it's like just use whoever you've got at that point. And again, I'm not going to go through this in detail at all. You'll see that we've got some slots highlighted yellow. Zoom in here, where you can kind of see that if we've got a slot there, then who you could use, okay? You know, and then specifically we can jump over to global. We talk about how you want to use the Phoenix tax, so to speak, where you basically heal Phoenix and just get 2 tacks in and then move on with your day. And then Cosmic, again, you've got some options here where we've highlighted certain characters. And then City, where same thing. And again, Venom, we know that's a lot of bio, but if you have those 3 bio tunes, you will finish City. And if you core, 2 to 3 days. If you don't core, I don't know, 5 to a week or so, maybe. It's crazy fast. It's by far the best 3 you could bring in there. The other ones that you could bring in, they're pretty much going to die in a couple of hits, so it's more about just keeping the symbiotes alive. They're cannon fodder. So anyway, that's that graphic. Again, it's on all our Discords. Come check it out. There's really not much I want to go to in detail here, but this is one of the first graphics that we did. Punk puts it together beautifully. The 3 of us work together on kind of theory, conceptions, all that kind of different stuff. And eventually we get this infographic that we hope helps you guys out. So the next part that's a little less detail, or something that we're not going to go through in detail, is the actual compilation of all the runs that I did and some notes on it and how many attacks, etc. So let's jump to that spreadsheet real quick. Okay, so this is going to be shared on, I've got a shared YouTube document that basically anybody can come view any of the different things that I've put on this document. There's a ton of different stuff that I've got on here. In this particular one, it's just me noting, this is literally every note I ever wrote down for Dark Dimension 3 as I went through it. Just everything that I thought of. So I've got the date I did it, you know, the first run, and this is only for the first run because I did not log this the second run. It was brutal. So I was kind of like, nah, I'm not going to record this again. So we're talking about the node, what day it is I'm on for, you know, in general on the whole thing. You can see day 1 through, I think it was 90 something. The character on the node, the link to my YouTube video for that specific node, so you can get it if you want to check it out. and then the attempt number on that node, the overall attempts taken, and they sum up at the bottom. Off to the right here, we have what I call as the strategy, and honestly, it's just my notes. It's not necessarily the key strategy, it was just what I did at the time. The infographic that I'm going to go over in a second is really what you want to check out, because that's been discussed from what my notes were here. Talked to Punk and Yeti. We kind of, banged our heads together thinking about some of the main focuses in Dark Dimension 3. And don't get me wrong, there are a ton. So you could put so many more things on this thing, but we tried to really hit the main ones that you want to focus, like 2 Iron Fists. Don't have that happen. And then I've got the damage done and then some notes. Some of them were just silly notes of, what BP is the worst. BP dies. At one point, I think I wrote what thumbnail I was using. Thumbnail fun. I just started doing different stuff here. So, again, I'm not going to go through all of this. If you want the detail, it's here. It's going to be in the link. It's in the description below. There will be a link to this specific spreadsheet. Just find the tab that says Dark Dimension 3 Dread the Darkness Compilation, and it will be one of the first tabs on the spreadsheet. So this is for you if you're just starting Dark Dimension 3, or you're struggling through it and you want to find some videos, or if you've got a new player to the game that you want to help out and you want to send this over to them. So this, combined with the 2 infographics, I feel like should really get you through anything that you really need to in Dark Dimension 3. And you can always stop by some of our discords and kind of talk with us about it as well. But generally speaking, we're trying to help point in the general direction of where you want to go there. Okay. So anyway, let's see. Actually, before I get off of this, let's see how many days it actually did take me here. What was it? 94, and that it would have been a lot longer. But you can see on those last few city nodes, I kind of went nuts where I started coring a bunch. I make a note here. 400 core heals. What am I doing? I definitely just got sucked into wanting just to finish, and that's exactly what I did. It looks like I had 204 total attempts for that first run. So anyway, let's go check out that final infographic that we put together for exactly what to watch out for in Dark Dimension 3. Okay, so overall, I'm just going to scroll through this so you can kind of get a sense of what this looks like. I'll go through the sections and let you know how it's kind of broken up. It's pretty easy to tell. The first section, again, all traits. We got a banner that kind of indicates the characters that might be discussed, and we hit each node. And they're kind of these warning signs, basically, with a little warning explanation. And again, I'll go through that in a second. But we've got the all traits section. We've got the global section. We hit on each node there. Notice node 8 is giant. There's a reason for that. Obviously, if you've experienced Dark Dimension 3, you feel the pain. Cosmic, same thing, rinse and repeat. Some characters at the top. We hit some of these characters in here with some detail. And then City at the bottom. And again, it's just meant to warn you on what are the things in these nodes that you might be worried about, the things that you might want to focus. I will put a kind of disclaimer on it. Is sometimes it might depend on your teams. That could give you a little bit different experience. But generally speaking, the things that we listed in this infographic will cover the things that you should be at least focused on or concerned about as you're going through these nodes. There might be some other stuff in there, but again, these are the warning, big yellow sign saying be careful, okay? So let's just jump and look at some of these a little bit in detail. And again, as always, Punk does amazing work on these infographics. We try to break them up into, little sections here so that they're easy to read, and it was consistent with our team's infographic. So you can get a similar sense as you look through these. So node 1, we got Doctor Strange, Ghost Rider. We talk about Doctor Strange, buff flips, revives. Loki, Ghost Rider, disrupt Ghost Rider before Loki can stealth him, then burn Ghost Rider down. Node 2, we've got a Marvel Star-Lord alt first turn. Restart if you lose a key character. Greg helps a lot here. And then the Jessica Jones Groot scenario where you've got them cleansing debuffs. Node 3, the most annoying node in all of Dark Dimension 3, in my humble opinion. The Brawler node. Miss Marvel and Black Panther. For those of you who were lucky enough not to experience this when Black Panther was getting double speed buffs, be thankful, because if he went on a tear, it was over. because you were lucky to survive his tear, but there was a bug in the game that gave him extra speed on top of it, as if he killed 2 people. And it just, so if he killed someone, it was over, guaranteed over. Whereas after the bug, it was a little less likely. And then Miss Marvel just assists all the brawlers. So at one point, I think it's inevitable that you'll eventually get 3 Miss Marvels. So you really want to make sure that you burn those down so that when you do get those 3, that one of them falls off pretty quickly. Because if you get stuck behind a taunt and one of them heals, you are in for a long, painful node. And it is annoying. Node 4, we talk about Strife and Namor. Basically, they're on roids. There's a bunch of buffers on that node. That node is one of the first, that is probably the first hard, really truly hard node. 3 is annoying, and it is hard, but 4 is just straight up like, you just die. Global, node 5 that's a pretty easy node. Node 6, we talk about Invisible Woman. Just you want to burn her down. Don't waste any abilities if she gets her berry up or can cleanse buff. So think about that. So you might want to throw a sacrifice in on that node to start to get that barrier out and then go on the next day. And if she uses her special, it's not as big of a deal, but you don't want to waste any abilities with her barrier up because it basically fills everyone up to full with her barrier, which would be great if ours could do that. Node 7, 2 Iron Fists. Do not, and I did a specific video on this node way back in the day, do not allow yourself to get into 2 Iron Fist territory. You need to kill the first one or you will be in a world of pain. World of pain. People have restarted this node because of that happening. Then we've got some speed in Daredevil and Okoye. Node 8, this is just another painful node. This might be, in my opinion, it's either this one or 12 that's the hardest in the game. This one is just, there's literally at some points there's nothing you can do. Nothing. The AI goes so fast and has so much AoE that your entire team is going to die, no matter what you do. It's AoE after AoE after AoE. When the shield team drops, speed and hits and troopers countering, it sucks. And then you get Spider-Verse to end the thing. And actually, those guys are less annoying than the power armor shield, but at some point they kind of synergize, or they have all the different groups in the same wave, and it is brutal. Cosmic Wave, Node 9. It's not too bad. Talk about a potential hella sack, but you got to be careful with Jean Grey and Psylocke removing any debuffs. Cyclops, you really want to kind of burn down the early ones so that he's not messing around with when Jean goes down. Node 10 is pretty easy. Don't really have anything to add there. Node 11, warning. Mr. Fantastic and Ultimates. And especially when that 3rd wave drops, the damage increase is nuts. So you really want to burn down Mr. Fantastic so he's not assisting the torches and any other Fantastic Four that drop. At some point, I think you could potentially get 2 Mr. Fantastics, and that's a real pain in the butt. Or a Mr. Fantastic and 2 Human Torches. I think there might be a Namor on this node too. You want to avoid it. Node 12. On the first run, originally one of the hardest, if not the hardest node in the game. It is brutal. Strife, taunting, ulting, vulture, speed, slowdowns, Doctor Strange, Scarlet Witch disperses, bus flipping. Everybody in this node kind of sucks. It just takes forever. People hit hard. Things are annoying. There's ways to make it less annoying. If you follow the team guide that we put together, you will do that node much easier. City, Node 13 is pretty easy, and honestly, even Node 14, if you've got the right makeup, is not too bad. It's mainly about assists with Mr. Fantastic and Okoye. You want to make sure to get them down so they're just not constantly assisting. Node 15, also not too bad if you have a good composition. We talk about some buffs and debuff folks like Merc Lieutenant and Ant-Man, which you might not be like, Ant-Man, but the slows that he's got, the ability blocks, it does kind of be a little bit annoying. And then similar with Vulture and Mysterio, just more debuffs. Mysterio surprisingly hits really hard with that ult, and he's going to heal block you with those symbiotes going, which can be a problem. So you also have got a Rhino that can drop on there, and if those guys, the Vultures and Mysterios are alive, it gives Rhino more HP. And then the final node, Node 16, where Fox Next was kind enough to give us a full supernatural team. And the truth is it is the full team. So there's so many options here that you could go for, the note we actually made was don't focus Ghost Rider unless you know you can kill him, because Ghost Rider is going to get a charge at some point. And if he has a charge and he ults you, he will heal up. So you need to be really smart about the damage you do to him. So think that through. You got a Merc Lieutenant who's getting buffs and speed up, so you want to make sure to focus him down on top of the entire Supernatural team. And then you've got the Shocker Vulture combo in some later waves where Vulture is slowing you down, reducing your speed bar, and Shocker gets some offense up to a bunch of people and ulting you and wiping you off the board. So that's what we got on this infographic. Again, shout out to Punk and Yeti. Punk does great graphic work. The three of us, we really try to do some good theory crafting in this. Please let us know what you think about these infographics. We're hoping they're helping you. I hope the compilation that I put together might help you. Worst case scenario, it's a one-stop shop to go in to get the links if you're not on any of my YouTube channels with the playlists. So, but ultimately, wanted to issue out this final infographic for Dark Dimension 3 on what to look out for. Come by any of our Discords to chat about it. Hit us up. Let us know your thoughts. We really, really hope this stuff is helping you guys out. That's the reason we do it. So we always want to hear your feedback on what you think. If there's ways that you could see us doing things better, we always are open to hearing that. But stop by, chat, let us know. So appreciate you stopping by. Hammer down on that like button, notification bell, likes, all the good things. If you want to subscribe, that helps too. That's fun. And make sure to share with your alliance mates. Aunts, uncles, cousins, grandma, grandpa. They care. They want to see this stuff. They want to get through Dark Dimension just like you do. So until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day.